Om Agyantivalandasya Kanangara Shilakaya Chaksul Jayatasma Sri Guru Namaha Vijay Karmano Vishtam Shkitam Jayakutara Swayam Putanayam Vinti Swadavitam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shadvaita Gadadhar Shivasari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol! Thank you very much for inviting me here to be with all of you ecstatic devotees. You're doing everything right. You're chanting and you're dancing, and I also assume you're taking prasadam. Yes. And we were with Prabhupada one time in Rome, Italy. And Prabhupada had come for a big event we had organized for him, a big festival. And when he came, he immediately asked, where's all the people for me to preach to? Because we were very busy organizing the event. But Prabhupada very much liked to meet dignitaries, VIPs, politicians, and everything like that, because they're the intelligentsia of society. And he understood that what the intelligentsia are thinking filters down to the common man. So he'd like to meet important people. And then he remarked on the kirtan that we had for his arrival. And he said, there's two ways that we can understand when a local temple or a chapter like this Namhata is doing well. He said, when the Tulsi plant is flourishing, because she's Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi, so when she's flourishing, that means there's a lot of Bhakti in the temple. And he said, where the devotees are enthusiastic to chant. He said, if the devotees are enthusiastic in kirtan, that means that center must be doing pretty well, everyone's happy. So I take it that you're happy, you're chanting and dancing, according to the Prabhupada's formula. And basically that's all we have to do. There's many rules and regulations, but they all support the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maharaj. And one time we were in Paris, and Prabhupada, we invited a priest to come to see Prabhupada. And the priest came, but it was just an official visit, I think. It wasn't that he was really interested. So Prabhupada was preaching to him, and the priest was going to fall asleep. I was thinking how unfortunate this man is that he's in front of a pure devotee, and he can't stay awake and hear some of the highest transcendental knowledge. But, so then Prabhupada kind of gave up on him. And he pulled his harmonium over and he started singing Hare Krishna, Prabhupada, without Madanga Kartals. And we were all like really surprised, like what's going on. Prabhupada sang for like half an hour. And the priest just sat there like, because he couldn't understand anything we're doing. So then Prabhupada stopped and he said something very significant at that time. I still remember this. He looked at the priest and he said, this is what we do. We just chant Hare Krishna. It's all that's required in the age of Kali. This is a very problematic age, as you've all experienced. And we're all the times problem solving. And according to the nature of the problem. If it's a simple problem, it's a simple process to fix it. If it's a very complicated problem, it's very complicated to fix it. So material life in general is just complicated. Birth, disease, old age, and death, and everything in between. So we might think, to solve this problem of material existence, it must be a very complicated solution. I think like that, right? If it's a simple problem, it's easy to fix. If it's a complicated problem, it's a big issue. And the biggest problem is we've taken birth in this material world. Not only one birth, but birth after birth after birth after birth. Brahmanda Brahmati Kondi Bhagavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasad, Pai Bhakti Lakbish. Since we left the spiritual world, we've been transmigrating from one body, well, actually from one universe, Brahmanda, to the next universe, Brahmanda, then to various births in the 8,400,000 species of life, and then this body and that body, that. That's our history, that's what we've been going through. So, it's not easy to get out. To get out of this conditioned way of life, to get out of the repetition of birth and death, samsara, it's very difficult. Especially in this age when people are not very spiritually inclined. Kalo Shutu Shambhavan stated in the Varaha Purana that in this age of Kali, everyone's born of a Sudra-like nature. There's not many Brahmins. A Brahmin is one who has intelligence, and Prabhupada said intelligence means to see things in the proper perspective. So Brahmana knows this is not his real home, and he's utilizing his life to get back home, back to Godhead. If there's any Brahmins left, they're here in South India, or close to South India, Durvidadesh. All the boys are smart here, but they're all going to America to make money in Silicon Valley. We call it a brain drain. All the intelligentsia who were before speaking the Vedas, Sarva Dharma Parichaja, Mamekam Saranam Bhaja, Hum Dum Sarvabhavya, everyone surrender. They're all leaving. There's no more brahmacharis, there's no more pujaris, there's no Rajrishis. Well, I think your Prime Minister is like a Rajrishi, saintly person sitting on. They're all going to America, to Silicon Valley to make money so they can buy iPhones, Porsche cars, new houses, get some fancy Western clothes. Nelson Mandela wrote a book, Cry My Beloved Country. So sometimes when I come to India, I cry. See, no, I've been coming here for 53 years, since 1970. I've seen the changes, some for the good, for the better, some not so good. People are forgetting their original Vedic culture, so it's because there's a brain drain. All the qualified priests and the Brahmins and the persons who read the scripture and share them with us, they're leaving or they're no longer interested. So Kalo Sutta Sambhavan. In this age, we're kind of slow-moving, slow-witted. But still, that being the case, that doesn't change the fact that the purpose of life is the same. What's the purpose of life? In my country, America, we were trained to systematically, like in a mantra of the gladiators. I don't know if you know European history. In Rome, there were gladiators. They would fight for the pleasure of the emperor and the people. In the Colosseum in Rome. And many of them were short-lived. And their motto was, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Like, life's all about getting as much enjoyment as fast as you can, because you're going to die. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. That's American philosophy. Eat, drink, and be merry. But that's not according to our scriptures here. And then the world's scriptures, they're not just Indian scriptures. This is transcendental knowledge, universal truth. It's meant for the whole world. Like mathematics is not just meant for France or German. Mathematics is meant for the whole world to make your life a little better. So Vedic teachings are not just meant for the people of power. They're universal. They address everyone's eternal nature. Shiver Swapoya Krishnara Nityadas. You're not American, French, German, Indian, man, white, black, yellow, green. You're a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna, the Supreme Soul. That's your real identity. So what do the Vedas say about the purpose of life? Will you find that mantra? Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die? Or the American children, what's their mantra? I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. It's becoming very popular in America. There's only two paths, Pravritti Marg and Nivritti Marg. The path going downwards, sense gratification, the path leading upward, renunciation, culminating in bhakti or devotion to Krishna. Two paths. So I scream, you scream. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. What do the Vedas say? The Vedas are speaking to all spiritually minded people. The topmost knowledge, Rajavidya, Rajaguyam. Other spiritual traditions, with all due respect, I give them all respect, they don't have the depth of knowledge that you people do, that we do. Nothing. It's kindergarten compared to master's degree. In the West, I ask people, do you believe in God? Yes. Can you tell me something about Him? He sits on the throne. He's got a gray beard and a little arthritis because he's reaching out in the painting that we got. And I say, anything more? He lives up there. Anything more? No, but the Vedic scriptures, especially the Puranas, especially the Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, Grantaraj, King of Scriptures, so much detailed information about God. So much detailed information. Chintamani Pakarasalam Sri Kalpraviksha Laksharviteshu Shubhadir Abhali Anandam. Detailed information about Krishna, what He looks like, how He walks, how He talks, who are His friends, what is His abode, what is the mood, what are the humors, what are the rasas. The purpose of religion is to fall in love with God, but how can you fall in love with someone you don't know anything about? You can't. So therefore the knowledge of this country, the knowledge of your civilization, the knowledge of this Vedas is essential for the world. Essential. It must be spread everywhere so serious people who want to love God can read about Him. Jai Sri Ram!
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 Why do we love Ram? He's a perfect king. He's a perfect husband. He's the perfect son of Dasharatha. He's perfect in every way. He's Bhagwan, owner of 6 opulences. We know that's why we love Him. He appeared on this earth. He performed His pastimes with Sita Devi. Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman in the forest. Sita was kidnapped. It's the perfect love story on the transcendental plane. By reading Ramayana, you fall in love with Ram. Yes, by reading Ramayana. By reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you fall in love with Krishna. By reading the Sringa Purana, you fall in love with Narasimhadev. Like this. This is like, you have this opportunity. You have all these scriptures. So what do your scriptures? I'm your adopted son. I came here in 1970 and I never left. I mean, my heart is here. I have to go all over the world and teach and share this philosophy with people. But Bharat, that's my home. Jai Hind. India is where Krishna appeared, so India is a special place. But it's not where we want to be born again and again and again and again. India is also part of the material world. There's birth, disease, old age, and death. But because Krishna appeared here, there's holy places that exemplify the spiritual world. Srirangam, Tirupati, Ayodhya, Mayapur, Vrindavan. These are the homes of the Lord. If you go there, you become spiritually enriched. You're so blessed. People from the West have to fly all the way to Delhi to go to Vrindavan. You can be there in one day. You're so blessed. Therefore, Shastra says, the most pious people in the universe, they take birth in Bharat, in India. Bharat, now I think Prime Minister Modi wants to change the name to Bharat. It's slowly happening. Because Bharat was a famous king, pious king, Rajrishi, a bureaucrat, but a saint at the same time, Rajrishi. They know how to satisfy people's material needs, and they know how to satisfy people's spiritual needs. This is Rajrishi. This is a real king. People are happy under Yudhishthira. People were happy under Ram. They were happy under Bharat. So long ago, the planet was named Bharat. But in Sanskrit, Bharat can also mean light. Sanskrit words can have different meanings. So, light. So when I first heard that, I said, yes, India's, subtropical country, there's lots of light. It's mostly hot here, all year. But that's not the real, deeper meaning of Bharat. Bharat means the land of knowledge, which is like light. But if you're in darkness, you turn on the lights. If you're in ignorance, you study knowledge. So Bharat's the light. It's like we have in the Western countries these lighthouses on the shores of the different European countries. So when the old days when the ships came, the lighthouse was there so that ships wouldn't crash against the rocks on the shore. The light was spinning like this. Don't come too close to this lighthouse. It's kind of a primitive way of doing things. Now we have GPS. They had this big lighthouse. But the light would spread for miles and miles and kilometers. I've seen it. It's been far and away. So the Vedic knowledge, which teaches us who we are, who is God, and what is our intimate relationship with God, that's like a lighthouse, Bharat, a light for the whole world to become enlightened in Krishna consciousness. The whole world. These Vedas they started here, but they meant to go all over the world. That light of transcendental knowledge. So if you had to pick a verse, what's the first verse? Of course, Dharmak, Shakti, Guru Shakti. All the children know that verse. But what about Vedanta Sutra? The Veda means knowledge. And the Vedas are very vast. The four Vedas, the Itihasas, the Puranas, the Upanishads, all the collary scriptures. I was told one sadhu said it takes 3 lifetimes to really study it all. Who's got 3 lifetimes? We don't even know if we have 3 minutes. In Kali Yuga, it's such a dangerous age. So who can do? So therefore, there's Vedanta Sutra. Sutra is like a code. If something very long, you put it in a code form. Like when I was in the military, in America, I was a soldier in the military. We learned Morse code. This was going back to the late 60s, we didn't have like today. 3 points mean 1 letter, 1 point means another letter, 1.5. So we learned Morse code. So we didn't exchange messages from one platoon or one ship to the other by, whatever. We would do it like by light, and we would do it by Morse code. Simplified. So all the knowledge of the Vedas is simplified in Vedanta Sutra. Sutra means code. So instead of a long-winded lecture, you could say something very in a short phrase. Instead of speaking on a point like, go on for hours and how important is this human form of life? God has gifted us with intelligence, much more than the animals. So we can ask questions like, who am I? Where have I come from? Why am I suffering? Does God exist? And then explain that the human form of life can code. The Vedanta Sutra says it in code form. Atato Brahma Jignasya. Voila, en français. Atato Brahma Jignasya. Now that you've come to the human form of life, what's your business? Self-realization. It's there in a nutshell. I remember my father used to quote Harry Truman. He was an American president. They asked Harry Truman, Mr. President, what's the business of America? He said, business. Businesses. The goal of life, business. But what's the real business of life? Becoming self-realized. There's no other species of life that can do that. They're also living creatures. They're just like you and me. Vidya, Vinaya, Sampane, Brahmani, Gapi, Hastani, Sunichada, Satakicha, Pandita, Samadarshanaha. A truly learned person, he sees with equal vision a Brahmana, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. Although externally they're different, they're all spirit souls. Aham Brahmasmi, not Aham Mamete. I'm a spirit soul. This is who I am. But they can't solve the problems of life. They can't solve the problems of material existence. They just, anamoya, they're just interested in eating and fighting and mating and sleeping. Sounds like human society these days. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. We just do it in a more fancy way. Animal existence. Human form of life has that golden opportunity to go within and discover our deeper spiritual nature. That is the purpose of life. Everything else is secondary. This is a strong statement from a sannyasi. Your family is secondary. Your job is secondary. Your social life is secondary. Your country is secondary. I've been glorifying Bart. Your country is secondary. The environmental issue is secondary. The first things first, self-realization. Those things are necessary, believe me. Without a body, without a family, without a country, what can you do? You have a support system. It's all important. But not at the expense of our spiritual lives. We should be like sailors on the ocean. In the old days, the sailors had wooden boats, and they would sail on the wooden boats, and a good sailor, he'd polish the brass, and he'd varnish the deck, and fix the sails, and whew, the boat's going along the sea, and everything's nice. He's a good sailor, but he never thought for a moment he was a creature of the water. He was always a little uneasy. I'm not a creature. A big storm can come. A big fish, a whale can knock us over. So although he was very responsible in his duties, he was always in the back of his mind thinking of land. When is this boat going to reach the land? Land ho! Go the land! Woo, finally! So we should be like a sailor. We should get a good education. We should get a good career. Find a nice boy. Find a nice girl. Get married. Have beautiful children. Have social life. Pay your taxes to the government. Worry about the environment. We don't want to mess it all up for our grandchildren. But in the back of our minds, we should be thinking Goloka Vrindavan. Land ho. Shiva Bhumi Vrindavan Nam Ki. We should never feel too easy in this world. Padam Padam Yat Vipanam Nitesham. Because there's danger at every step. You never know. It's not just people in movies or people on the television or on the internet that, have accidents. Most accidents happen within 2 miles of the home. Is that, ladies? Cutting the subtree, a little child gets on the sofa to look up and falls off. Dad's fixing the plane glass window and it crashes. Padam padam yapi padam matesham. So we shouldn't get too comfortable here. We shouldn't be an illusion. We shouldn't be like a man who's traveling and he gets into a hotel. He checks into the hotel. And when he's in the hotel, he goes up to his room and it's not to his liking, the room. So he calls up some company and come here and make all these floors marble. Put this beautiful marble from Rajasthan on the walls here. I want some crystal chandeliers. I want gold spigots in the bathroom. I want pure silk cloth everywhere. Or Thomas, you listening? Pure silk cloth everywhere. I wanted this repainted, that repainted. And when you bring me my food, bring it on jade, nicely. And he's spending all this money, boom, 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 boom. Next morning, he wakes up, and the reception calls him, sir, we only booked you for 1 day, you have to get out. The hotel's full today. Wait a minute! I put all this marble in. I put the silk sheets in, I got a chandelier. Sir, everyone here is only temporary. Nobody resides in this hotel permanently. Get out. No! Get out. No! Okay, we're going to call Yamaraj and he'll get you. They call the police. But who's the big policeman in this world? Yamaraj. His servants. So think of your life like that. No one's here permanently. You just checked in this lifetime, and you're putting your scene together. Prabhupada said it's okay. We don't have to live like cats and dogs. We can live a nice life, proper. We can live prosperity. Because how can you, it's so hard to chant Hare Krishna when you're poor and don't have enough to eat, you're always sick. So prosperity is good, but it's not everything. It's not like the Egyptian kings, they thought that they could take all their prosperity to the next life. So they buried them with all their wealth. And they even, this is hard to say, but they even killed all their servants and put the servants' bodies in there too to take them to the next life. This is a very shallow understanding of transmigration as a soul. You don't wake up in your mother's womb and come out saying, where's all the marble and the crystal and the jade I had, 10 months ago? So let's be real. We're strangers in a strange land. We're Atmas in transit. That's a good title for the class. We're Atmas in transit. Why try to make a permanent settlement here? You're going to get kicked out. Again and again and again and again and again. How can you stop it? Become Krishna conscious and go back to the spiritual world, because Krishna says, having once gone there, you never come back again. All problems solved. When you read Bhagavatam, there's no problems in the spiritual world. When Krishna comes to the material world, he has to deal with the Asuras. Bhutana, Agasura, Trinivarta, Shankachuda. There's all these demons in Krishna's Gokul pastime. In the spiritual world, do you think there's demons? They're part of Krishna's pastimes here, so that means they're probably there as well. No. There's no Agasura, there's no Trinivarta, there's no Bhutana in the spiritual world. There's no problems, but there's rumors. There's rumors that Agasura is coming. Everyone gets afraid. Oh, Putana is coming. Mother Yasoda runs out, grabs her baby. Oh, Krishna, Putana. But it's just rumors. It's just to facilitate the Brajavasis loving Krishna more. Because love is always increasing in the spiritual world, ad infinitum. It's not reached a certain level, then you get divorced. No, love is always increasing, 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 increasing. So these pastimes, the rumor the demons are coming, Krishna, help! Krishna comes, yes, don't worry, Krishna, thank you, I love you. It's all to facilitate this loving mood in the spiritual world, like that. So this is a nasty place, Dukalayama Shashvatam, Atato Brahma Jignasya, therefore we should try to get out. But Maharaj, you were saying how complicated Kali Yuga is. Everyone's born stupid. Sorry. Everyone's born like a Sudra. How am I going to get it? It's so complicated. Big problems take a lot of, meetings and diplomacy and bribery and to get out of a big problem. And this is the biggest problem. What's the biggest problem? Look at where I am, the material world. And I've been here since time immemorial. It must be very complicated to get out. No. What do you mean no? I mean no. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam. Golo, nasteva, 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 gatiranyata. In the age of Kali, this is the Upanishads, billions of years ago, predicting this age, looking out for you. Upanishad. In the age of Kali, the vicious age of Kali, the most simple and sublime means of liberation, moksha, going back to Godhead, is to chant 3 words. What? Yes. In the form of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Couldn't be true. It's too simple. Hey, nice things come in small packages. What does a lady want for the 75th wedding anniversary? Yeah, she remembers back when she got married, you got her a nice diamond ring, maybe get her another one. So like that. Nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. And there's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. So in one sense, this is the most favorable age for self-realization. Well, that goes against the whole grain of the talk, called the Yuga. But to become self-realized in Satya Yuga, you had to practice meditation for 100,000 years. In Treta Yuga, you had to engage in ritualistic activities for 50,000 years. And in Dwapara Yuga, you had to worship the Lord in the temple for 25,000 years. But in one lifetime, you can become Krishna conscious by chanting this mantra. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, at one initiation ceremony, I see no reason why all my disciples can't go back to Godhead in one lifetime by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So who wouldn't do it? It's not that you have to do it all the time. You don't have to become a sannyasi like me and fully dedicated day and night with sadhana and preaching. You can be a mommy and have babies. That's a full-time occupation. Let the mothers tell you. It's 24/7, 365 for like till the 25 when they leave. I know I have many female disciples. I know how hard it is for them to chant their 16 rounds. And I understand. That baby's been given to you by God. He's your ray of Vishnu. So, therefore the process is made simple. Businessmen how hard you work these days? I heard a lecture Prabhupada said in Vedic times, mainly it was agriculture. India was an agricultural country. Some cities, but mainly agriculture, small villages, simple living, high thinking. And Prabhupada said that they would plant, nurture the seeds, and grow the crops, and then harvest. It took 5 months. And 7 months, everyone was free. Maha Mahotsav, for festivals celebrating Janmashtami, Ram Navami, the Shringa's Appearance Day, this saint, this that. Go on pilgrimage, go to the Himalayas, go to Vrindavan, go to Sri Rangam, go here 7 months of the year. Because it was agriculturally based and people didn't have so many demands, so many material desires. Vedic culture meant if you had an acre of land, a cow and a bull, you could fulfill almost all of your material needs. Food, milk, clothing, everything. The cow and the bull are so essential to simple living life. Nowadays, you graduate from the university, you fly to Silicon Valley, America, 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 God shed His grace on thee, from sea to sea, a shining sea, and all the brotherhood and all the money, money, money. No. You're working for Microsoft, you're working for, what are the other companies?
Amazing Google.
Yeah, there you go, 10, 20 of them. And you work. You work hard. You've got a nice house. You work hard, like you get up, you go to work, and the horrible Silicon Valley traffic, I know. The traffic's like insane. You get there, you're already exhausted. You work from 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and they keep you there till 10 o'clock. You don't get any extra pay. And it happens over and over and over and over and over and over. The kids are in school. Your wife's also working. Who's the owner of the house? Woof, woof! A cute little doggy, a dachshund, or some little dog, or maybe a cat. Meow. They have the whole day. They lay around the house. They've got their favorite spots on the couch that you don't know about it. They clean it up a bit. They do a little poopy somewhere in the corner. They come home and clean it. They have food. They have water. This is actually fact. My friend, his dog knows how to turn on the TV. Pushes the button, and it doesn't understand much, but I guess the colors and sometimes animals come on. Woof, woof. The neighbor's complaining, why is your dog woofing all day? Because he's watching TV and he gets upset with some of the scenes. You think that people are going to jump out of the tube? So who are you working for? You work, you get 3 weeks vacation, and that's stressful as well. Put the kids in a car, go up to Yosemite and walk around with a billion other tourists in the blazing sun, and get back to your hotel, and the cold water doesn't work. And I'm exaggerating, but not much. And the children these days, what they have to go through to school? I mean, really, children should play. It's the only time you can really get that play done when you're young, because if you're older, you have responsibilities. So children should play. That's how they learn about life. They play. There's lots of time for playing. In the spiritual world, look, Krishna just plays with the cowherd boys all day long out in the forest of Vrindavan. Nowadays in the schools, I've seen the children are studying calculus, trigonometry when they're like 8 years old. They have the backpacks that the children wear to these schools. I don't think I could either. When I was in the military, I had a 50-pound backpack I had to run through the jungle with. These kids are very young. They're backpacking. And they have book after book, and they come home after school. Do they get to play? They have 4 hours of homework. Most children I've met, even young children, what to speak of teenagers, they're up till 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, and exam after exam after exam after exam. I want to get in trouble by the Ministry of Education. in India. But they're working so hard. Where's the time anymore? Where's the time? By the time you've made enough money to enjoy your 75, and the old gray mare just ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be. The old gray mare just, sorry, American stuff. The old horse, what can he enjoy? So therefore, knowing that Kali Yuga is like that, I mean, we should try to make some adjustments so the kids get more time for playing, that the parents don't have to work so hard to keep up with the neighbors next door. I mean, simple living with high thinking, but we have a lot of material desires, so we work hard for them. Maybe if the fever goes down for material enjoyment, with a more simple life, maybe we'd be more peaceful. But whatever the case, Kali Yuga is going to advance, so not many people are going to want to live a simple life with high thinking. They'd rather live a complicated life with no time to think. Sorry, I can't buy that book, Hare Krishna boy. I can't go to the temple, I'm too busy. I can't turn on my phone and listen to some Bhagavad Gita. I've got finances to take care of. Tough. So understanding this, some people will make an adjustment. Right? We're pretty much all in the same river here. Understanding that, and understanding that the purpose of life remains the same. Atato Brahma Jignasya. It doesn't matter if it's Satya, Treta, Dvapara, Kali Yuga. If you're born a human being, you have a responsibility by the time you die to know who you are, who is God, and what is your intimate relationship with Him, and get out of here. You stay who you are. Doesn't be a businessman, be a student, be a mother. That's only natural, that's required. But find time for this simple process. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Find time for 16 rounds. It's the minimum. And if you chant 16 rounds daily, and you follow the principles, and you use your leisure time, not for sleeping in all day, or going to the, let's see, here it's a football match. No, in India, in America it's the football match, here it's the cricket. Rather go to the Dhamhata, or go to the local temple. Balance the life a little bit more so there's more spirituality. You don't have to be an ascetic, a tapasi, a yogi, a big brahmana in the temple. There's a concession made for this age. There's a concession. Doesn't matter who you are. Chant 16 rounds, follow the principles, do some study of the books, make friends with devotees, go to the temple. You can achieve the same thing that Vashishta Muni achieved through 60,000 years of meditation. You know Vashishta Muni. 60,000 years of meditation. He became enlightened. Bless him. But Prabhupada said, this is from the lotus mouth of Prabhupada, he said that by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, living the life of a devotee, one can achieve the same result in one lifetime. That's like there's a sale going on. The sale, what do we have here in India? I don't know. There's a sale, it's like Diwali, and there's a sale, you can buy so many sweets, or after, let's say, after Diwali, presents, there's a sale, 50% off. A valuable item, like a diamond ring, 50% off. Wow. Everyone goes because it's a sale. There's a spiritual sale going on now in the world. You don't have to be a tapasvi, you don't have to be a yogi, you don't have to be a rishi. You don't have to be a Mahatma. You can be just Bhakta Joe. If you take this divine mantra, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You can be a student, a young girl, and chant. Get a head start on everyone else. If you start when you're young, by the time you're mommy's age, you'll be crying tears of ecstasy. Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. Krishna, I'm feeling all vacant of the world in the absence. How did you get that far? When I was 14, I started chanting 16 rounds. How many of the young people here chant 16 rounds? How many? Chant japa? How many rounds? That's okay. How many? 5. Okay. It's a good start. Longest journey begins with the first step. I know children who are 7 or 8, they're chanting 16 rounds. They live in Silicon Valley. Because they have a prosperous life and their parents are good devotees and they have the time to chant there, you know. It's possible. So take this mantra as your life and soul. It's the most important thing you have. It really is. It's free and you can't put a price on it. You know, it's not a commodity like that. But from that chanting, all the karma, the sinful reactions that you've been carrying like a bag on your back. Sometimes you see the poor people, they carry, I don't know what's in it, you know, it's all kinds of stuff. But life after life, it goes away. And the material desires which are the cause of those sinful reactions, they're uprooted like a big hurricane comes in and pushes over a big tree. You see all the roots. Wow, that tree had so many roots. Most trees, their roots are as wide as the branches on the surface. You see a tree, the branches like that, then you know that the roots are like that to keep the tree like that. It's a little tree, little roots. And in my country we have redwood trees, the redwood forests in California. And they're big, they're tall. It's the sky. And big storms come. And how do they not fall down? Because their roots, they work together. This tree binds with that tree, and binds to that tree. So if you look under the ground, all the trees are like one family. All their roots are together. So like that, if we all work together, alone, we're fallible to Maya, but if we come together like a spiritual family, we're strong. A family that prays together stays together. So that's the glory of this group, that you're all working together. You have spiritual strength like that. So start chanting as soon as you can. How many rounds do you chant? 1? Okay, that's good. How old are you? It's okay. There's billions of children who don't chant 1 in this planet. And as long as you're chanting, Krishna knows you're there. Because when you chant, what's happening? Krishna's listening. What? I'm only a young boy. If you call somebody's name, they're going to respond. Right? Let's see, what's the name? Brajachandrika! Then she'll respond. Kautamashi! Sometimes he's sleeping. But God never sleeps. He's always enjoying. He's sleeping. Everyone thinks he's sleeping, but he's out playing with the gopis at night. A few drops of Vrindavan in the class. So if you call upon someone, they're going to respond. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was asked the question one time, Sir, if we pray to the saints of yore, Narada Muni, Vashishta Muni, all the great saints, millions of years ago, did they hear us? I actually wonder, if I prayed to, Narada Muni, would he hear me? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, yes, through the transcendental medium, they hear you. Not only do they hear you, they respond, they reciprocate. So everyone can have a very personal relationship with Prabhupada, not just Prabhupada's disciples. Sometimes the grandfather is more merciful than the father. So everyone can pray to Prabhupada, he's listening. You can pray to Bhakti Siddhanta, Gorkishore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji, Baldev Vijayabhushan, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna, Krishna and Balaram, they're here. Then they'll know you're there. So if you just do 1 round a day, Krishna will always protect you. Here's my little devotee. He's young, but he's chanting 1 round. That's a lot. For a kid to sit down and chant 1 round, that's a lot. Krishna if you're 75 like me, that sannyasi better be chanting 64 rounds a day. But if you're just a young child, if you're just chanting 1 round a day or 2 rounds a day, Krishna's got your back. He knows you're there. And if there's some problem comes, he'll protect you. I mean, he protected Prahlad. How old was Prahlad? 5. He was 5. A whole incarnation for 1 boy. Who says God's not kind? It's confirmed. Vayu confirmed. A whole incarnation. The Sringadev came from Vaikuntha to Ahobilam, or wherever it was. And there was this, Prahlad, and he was being harassed by his demoniac asur father. And Prahlad was such a good devotee. He was 5, but he was also preaching to his childhood friends in school, not to be silly and waste time. They should all chant Hare Krishna. So when he was about to be killed by the greatest demon, the most powerful demon, Hiranyakashipu, who conquered the Devatas, the 14 worlds, no one could defeat him. He's going to kill a 5-year-old boy. The Sringadev, boom! Stay away from my Prahlad, he's mine. Big fight. You know this story. So just see how, even if you're just 5, if you're a devotee of Vishnu or a devotee of Krishna, Krishna will watch out for you. Some bully in the school makes fun of you, just say, Jai Sringadev to you. If some problem comes up, I've been chanting his name since I was a little girl. He's right behind me. Don't mess with me. The chanting protects us, it purifies us, and takes us home. So who wouldn't chant 5 minutes out of a whole day? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Still keep chanting, yes? Confirmed. We're going to keep chanting, yes? You keep chanting, yes? You keep chanting. I'll make a deal with you. If you chant 2 rounds every day, I'll come back to this Mahana again next year. It's a deal? He's going to do 2 rounds every day now. And you can keep an eye on him, but I trust him. He's a young little Brahmin boy, like a little Prahlad. And by his grace, then, we'll all be together again next year. Okay? Before closing, I'd like to share something with you. This is a book. It's a compilation of my lectures about our most beloved Sri Vrindavan Dham. If anybody asks you, what is your home? Don't say Hyderabad. Say you're just doing business here until you get kicked out of the apartment at the hotel. Say your real home's Braj. This is where Krishna is. This is where Krishna is eternally there. It's described as the playground of God. Vaikuntha is the official kingdom of God, and Vrindavan is the playground of God. So thank you for keep confirming everything, Mayu. So during the pandemic, I was locked down in my room in Vrindavan. I've been traveling for 50 years. Sannyasis can only stay in one place 3 days. Suddenly, Radharani slammed the door, and I'm in Vrindavan for 3 years. So I thought what to do. So all the books that are on my shelf, hundreds, I read them, and I snuck out with a mask from time to time, and visited as many holy places as I could find in Vrindavan over all the years, and I met the sadhus there. I read the histories of those pastimes, the pastimes that took place, and the mood of those pastimes, and where they are, and when they happened, and I put that in my lectures. For 4 years, every Friday, we've had a lecture on my YouTube channel about the glories of Vrindavan. And I haven't finished yet. I think today we published one on paintings giving stimulus of love in Vrindavan. Recorded it this morning. It's already up. So it's like almost 500 lectures about Braj. So my disciples took the first maybe 20 or 30 lectures and made a book about it. It's called The Sacred Forest of Vrindavan, the Western Bank of the Jamuna. The book next year, when I come back, because it's changing 2 rounds a day, next year it'll be the Eastern Bank of the Jamuna. And every year for the next 20 years, we'll publish a book. And this book is like a parikama guide. Many times you go to Vrindavan, like, where do I go? Is there somebody who can take me around? This person knows a little bit, but I just saw things, but I didn't understand them. This book will help you understand each and every holy place that I visited in that time. It's been transcribed by my disciples, edited very nicely, first-class production, and it has beautiful paintings as well. It's a painting of me, actually. I mean photographs of different sadhus and the cows and the Jamuna and Govardhan Hill and all. So anything you need to know about Braj, well, not everything, because there'll be more volumes. So much here, you can study this all year. When you go next year to Vrindavan for Kartik, you'll be like, well, you know where you're going, and what you're supposed to do, and who you're supposed to see. If you can't go to Vrindavan, in the privacy of your home, it's just like being in Vrindavan. Shravanam Kirtanam brings Vrindavan Smaranam. You read all the pastimes about all the people in Vrindavan, all the philosophy, and you'll feel just like you're in Vrindavan, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He woke up one day, he said, oh, it appears my house has been changed into Goloka Vrindavan. Because he's so Krishna conscious, and he and his family are always doing spiritual things. So if you take this book, it'll be like Vrindavan in your home. And it's very well done. It's like first class, like you put it on the table for your guests to come. What is that distinguished book? So nicely done. What is that? It's about our home. Your home here? No, we're Atmas in transit. This is just like a hotel. That's what the Maharaj said. Our real home is Shri Vrindavan Dham. Okay? So I think we're going to have a little table or something. Rasika, it's your time to talk. You like to talk. This is my secretary. Please give her a big round of applause.
Hare Krishna. As Maharaj explained, we are here on a book tour to distribute Maharaj's new book. So we'll be setting up the book table over here. You can form a line and purchase the book. And Maharaj will be signing the books. We give a small note in the book where you can write your name in legible capital letters. So Maharaj will use that to write your name. You can pay via GPay or cash here. Thank you.
The thing is, the book's really expensive. It's 2,500 rupees. And I feel a little awkward here because sannyasis aren't supposed to be making money. They're supposed to be renouncing. But really, my heart of hearts, this is for you. I did it for all of you because I love Vrindavan. I'm trying to love Vrindavan, and I want you to love Vrindavan as Prabhupada loved Vrindavan. So basically, it's just for all of you. And if you'd like to take the book, I'd be very happy to sign it. And then I'll be on my way, 360. I'll be back here 1 year later.